All right, ladies, buckle up. It's showtime.
You gave me your loving, and I fell from grace.
And welcome aboard, everybody. What a day, what a show. Copperhead Road Podcast, live all over the place, where you're seeing us, where you're not seeing us, where you want to see us, where you don't want to see us. That's where we are. I'm your boy Footer. That's my man Rex. Got Jen behind the glizzy,
What's up, money makers?
chilling. And yeah, we're ready to fucking rock and roll. Out of the box.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that we usually do is we actually like to, sometimes, occasionally, often we have a direction. We're like, you know what? We're going to talk about, Nick Fuentes or Lindsey Clancy or Trump or immigration or whatever. We usually have a direction. That's not today. We do not have a direction. We're actually going to freewheel a little bit more than we usually do, which is quite often. So if you're listening to us now, jump into chat wherever you are and give us a direction. Tell us which way you want us to go. How's that sound?
Interesting. A little scary. A little nervous. A little fucking
You're
nervous.
not nervous. You know we got stuff.
Nah, and I'm not nervous anyway, to be quite honest with you. That would imply I cared what the listener thinks. Kidding. Care. Very much care.
Yeah,
But I
CAIR, like the fucking Muslim thing. That's you.
I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying not to bombard the show with Muslims. Boom. Veronic Gaming has arrived. Good for you. Good for you. Hello, sir. Good to see you.
Hi, VG. How are you?
Welcome aboard, pal. Welcome aboard. I'd like to pull us up in chat. I can't seem to find. Oh, I think there we go.
Right there.
Yeah, I got us. Boom.
They just look around the corner. We're usually right next to the bathroom with our ear against the wall.
Wow. With their drill.
Yeah, we're maintenance. That's what it says on our label.
It's true because it's true.
It is.
Yeah. But yeah, I was just telling you off the other Chuck E. Cheese story, like how that came about. I'm not going to share it with anybody else right now, but yeah, I got done with that. I haven't really seen any. There's been really nothing that has jumped out at me as far as what's been going on lately. So, I can see where the direction is going to be. Who knows where we would go? Again, same old shit, to be honest with you. But nothing. I feel like it's been a slow news week.
Yeah, it has. I mean, Trump had a couple of good rulings, Supreme Court wise. They're allowing him to sort of go ahead with his executive order. They didn't actually rule on it, but they go ahead with the executive order regarding mail-in ballots, and limiting, basically using the post office to only allow mail-in ballots to go to people who are registered. So that's kind of a good thing. He did a visa revision, meaning that if you're applying for reapplying for a visa, the company that's hiring you for the H-1B has to pay $100,000. So that's kind of a good thing. And I guess they were also saying, which I thought was interesting, is that I don't remember the percentage, but it is not insignificant, but a good percentage of the illegal immigrants in the country are people who have overstayed their visas. So they're, again, politically wise, that thing. On a sad note, Dolly Parton died yesterday.
I know.
So that's sad. And I was thinking about it, and there aren't too many people left in the country that sort of has universal appeal left to right. Dolly Parton clearly was one of them. Michael Jordan would be one. you know, there aren't too many of them left because, well, that's just where we are.
Yeah, no, it's sad because again, it does, wakes up just the fact that like that whole generation of and again, for us, we were pretty young, so it was more like if we were exposed to them, it was through our parents, you know.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it does show, that whole generation is kind of going, which is tough.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of the actors and things of that generation, like, you know, left to right, everybody loved the Golden Girls. Um, you know, left to right, Mary Tyler Moore, and there was that whole group of actors and actresses were able to have universal appeal because they didn't really ever make their politics known. And I think that's really like a bad way Hollywood and the elites sort of went, as they decided to go into politics, because they really sort of halved their fan base, and that's going to not be good for them or the country for that matter.
Yeah, no, it's true.
I don't. Well, why do you think that is? Why do you think that it's so incumbent upon you know, people in Hollywood in general to weigh into politics when it's only detrimental?
Popularity contests, you know what I mean? But do you want to know the real dark answer?
Yeah.
Okay. They are in such an elite world that they're exposed and participate in such horrific demonic behavior that the only way that they can somewhat try to cleanse their soul, if I may be so bold, is to think that they're on the righteous side of things. You know what I mean? Posturing always as being the most generous, the most empathetic.
Yeah.
Does that kind of answer the question?
Yeah, it is. And I you know, I know part of it's sort of like a virtue signal, even just for the powers that be within Hollywood. And Veronix Gaming says that's why he likes Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves, because they don't make their politics known. But like, you know, take somebody even like Clint Eastwood, who does make his politics known, and he's still has sort of universal appeal because of his talent.
Well, the problem is he shot himself in the foot with that fucking whole weird Obama thing that he did, you know, sitting in the stage with the chair. He weird old manned it, you know what I mean? And that was his jumping the shark, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, good morning, Colonel. What's up, buddy?
You know, a lot of music acts can have a political lean and still not divide their base,
which is very surprising to me.
Yeah, because I can't really. I mean, other than some, and I'll say a diminishing amount of country acts typically go conservative, but most everything else is always left leaning, and that seems to be overlooked. That doesn't seem to really weigh into their fan base.
And who you said?
Rock acts and
Right.
and sort of, you know, rap.
Yeah, but it's either like you know what it's the one. There's a certain. I think that everybody is affected a little bit, like the fan base a little bit. You know what I mean? Like if you think about, remember the Dixie Chicks thing that all that time?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they took a fucking beating.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So there is I think it does come into play a little bit, but I think for the most part, you know what I'm saying, people can separate it, and they should be able to. But you know, perfect example has we like when we killed Bruce Springsteen, he's over and above what you need to be. So,
yeah. Well, I also think if you're still a great or good quality act in new performance, I think a lot of that gets sort of, I don't really care what he thinks. I just love his new song or whatever it is. But like with Bruce Springsteen, like his day in the sun as far as being a songwriter was what, 89 maybe. So that's why I think it's gotten annoying. But like, we do give a lot of deference to people who are still putting out quality because, again, we can kind of overlook the thing because we like whatever they're selling.
Yeah, well, again, you kind of nailed on one thing he's not even giving himself a chance by writing a good fucking song,
Right.
where, you know, like one of my favorite. Okay, man, there's a song, but you know the band Thrice. Are you
Yeah.
familiar?
I know them because of you, yes, but I know who they
Okay.
are.
Well, there's a song called Black. I think it's called Black Honey. I could
Yeah.
that could be wrong. Some I think that might be it. But anyway, that song is 100% like liberal horseshit. You know what I mean? If you break down, but the way he's saying it, it's very artistic. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's you know, like talking about like, you know, hitting the hornet's nest. You know what I'm saying? You can understand, but we deserve the best. We do what we want. We do what we need. We do it again. Something, whatever. I'm butchering the lyrics, but it's something like, you know, obviously, like, you know, blaming us for, you know, poking the hornet's nest and going in and taking over other. With that being said, one of my favorite fucking songs ever.
Well, again, there's, you know, I know you're not a huge fan, but you know, like System of a Down, like their lyrics are awful as far as politicians go or politics go, but I like System of a Down.
Yeah,
I like Tool.
Yeah,
you know, but
you know how I feel. You know my Tool. You know how I feel about Tool, though. I stand by to this day. You know what I'm saying?
I can you just refresh me of why you hate Tool so much, or hate Maynard?
No, you know what? Here's the thing. I don't even hate like the band. Like, I actually really love Danny Carey. I think he's a great drummer. If I was ever to like pick my look, like, you know what I'm saying, as like an adult rock star, I'd go with like the either one of the bass player or the guitar player from Tool. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just have a cool older dude, fucking rock dude look. Okay, so like I have nothing wrong with that, you know, them. Maynard annoys me because he just thinks he's the coolest man in the world, and he's not. You know what I mean? But my whole Tool thing is that, yes, they're amazing musicians. Yes, they make really good music. But there has been a lot of really good musicians and a lot of really good music made. They're so overhyped and like this mystique and stuff behind them. Oh, they used the Fibonacci effect in there. So what?
Mm-hmm.
So what? My ears don't listen and go, oh, that's the Fibonacci. God, they're geniuses.
Right.
Don't give a shit. You know what happens? My little toe starts tapping. You know what I'm saying? Well, shaking my hips a little. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bobbing my head. You know what I mean? Again.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it good.
What I always forget the band. Was it Disturbed with the Jewish singer there?
Yeah. Yep. David Drainman.
Yeah. Another guy who, again, his voice carries a lot of his appeal, I think. But did you see, like, recently? I say recently, probably within like a year and a half or whatever. Like, he got divorced, so he started you know, working out and trying to, you know, make himself up for his next divorced wife or whatever. So he, again, I'll find it next episode or whatever, but like, he had actually put a post out of him like working out, and he put hashtag down with the fitness.
Oh man. Oh boy.
Oh fuck, it made me laugh though.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking bad. That's pretty fucking bad.
Veronica says, everybody laughs at me when they find out my primary music that I listen to. Well, please share. I would love to know what Veronica's listening to. A matter of fact, that I'll guess. I'm gonna go not EDM, but I would say it's probably like an electronica kind of music if I had to guess.
Maybe like his favorite band is The Cure or something.
Yeah, or
like he's weird, like he's a weird 80s guy. Or again, because of his pagan, maybe he's like some sort of like, he's like, I only listen to Swedish death metal.
Yeah, Gregorian chant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, please let me know. And Colonel, I assume you like country because you're out in the middle of Montana, but could be wrong.
No, I think I'm gonna say no. Honestly, I think Colonel's probably like a new metal guy. I think he would like Godsmack, Disturbed.
Yeah.
You know, Slipknot maybe. You know,
Veronica says, I do, but you also are wrong on the primary part. Okay, you want to stop teasing and just tell us what it is?
okay, yeah, I mean, really. What are we? Why so vague? Jesus, Veronix.
So yeah, it is worth noting that we do have a debate coming up Saturday at 11:30 with Veronix Gaming and Bakwash. No, BRB. But we did do a stinger specifically for the debate. So why don't we just take a look at that?
Yeah,
it's right there. Yep.
On August 29th at 11:30 a.m.
On August 29th at 11:30 a.m.
What the fuck was that?
I am the epic voiceover guy.
On August 29th at 11:30 a.m. Bakwash and Vironix Gaming.
On August 29th at 11:30 a.m. Bakwash and Vironix Gaming.
You need to stop that. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, just do your thing.
On August 29th at 11:30 a.m. Bakwash.
Look at the state of the white man and children today.
And Vironix Gaming.
I might die for this! I might die for this!
Battle for the soul.
Hang on. It's just a debate.
A debate for the soul.
It's just a debate. Not for anyone's soul. It's not no holds barred. It's not for all the marbles. It's not a cage match. It's just a debate. On August 29th, 11:30, Bakwash Vironix Gaming. Live on Rumble, YouTube, and Kick. Only on Copperhead Road. Are you a colored fella?
Epic voiceover guy knows no color or creed.
Oh, because you sound like a...
So yeah, I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm so pumped up about it. I've shut down my day.
Yeah,
I don't. Yep, I want to make sure that we went crazy. We all right. He said he sent the link. We sending links, pal.
Cuban link.
Boom. If anything, put it in the chat. And we can click it from the chat. You know what I'm saying? Don't send it privately because then we got to put it into media assets or blah, blah, blah. And I don't have Discord on my computer. It's on my phone. So I can't even just do it quick.
Do what?
Said if it's a song, you can just play it and put it by the mic. I mean, I don't know what it is, but
yeah, again, what you can't just tell us what the fuck it is. What
Rex, exactly. It doesn't matter. How about you fucking tell us and we'll pull it up if we have to.
What is it, Peter? I mean, what? Well, like, are you embarrassed? Is it sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows?
Again, all fine, all fine things. Hit the like button, by the way, if you're watching. If you got eyes on the video, double tap that screen. Do all those fun things. Get this get us going in the algorithm for today, please. There's such a lag. At least there is on my end.
You mean on YouTube?
Yeah, like the video just ended.
Oh,
you want me to play it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's real gay. So gay.
Yeah, again, it's electronic. I knew it was, and I know you're a fan of Miku, which is disturbing because so is my daughter, who is 10 years younger than you and also a female. That's horrendous.
Yeah. What's the local fucking child protection agency in your area? Yeah, you're a little.
How many fucking rabbits have watched their fucking life drain out of their eyes hearing that song?
Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. As you glance over at like a new Lego set that you're about to build, like, you know, like the Hitachi edition, something weird like that.
Yeah, Veronica, it's not the best, and I will fight you, and I mean like in person.
Wow, that's crazy. That's
I mean,
crazy.
There's zero talent in the music, zero talent in the vocals. What makes it the best? I would love to know.
Again, there's nothing best about it. Well, again, let me not be a jerk, but listen to this. Like it sounds like a video game. Something you would be like if you're trying to, you know, save the princess.
It is, and it's low key the same stuff that he plays in the background when he's streaming his game.
That's true. Are you kidding? Do you have any idea how hard it is to tune a Vocaloid? You know what? That's fair. It's beyond my realm of expertise when it comes to music. You've definitely. I could definitely be subservient to your opinion on that music. I promise you, I don't have anything on it.
Yeah. Donald will give you shit for AI slop, and then we have to listen to that.
Yeah. The only
so I didn't make the connection until yesterday when I was going through Spotify messages. But Popo Man was Colton. Did you know that?
I did know that, but not until until I found it. I didn't know while he was on. Nope. No, I did not know that.
My daughter thought he had what did she say? Good vibes. Yeah, it was funny.
Oh, he definitely did.
Yeah,
he definitely had good vibes. He's like he would be the type of I'd like to have 100,000 of him as listeners. You know what I mean? Just a fun guy, has an opinion, might not even agree with us on a lot of things. Not a problem.
Veronica Gaming, do you know how hard it is to build a full dance animation? You know how hard it is to restore a rifle? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I don't. I'm gonna have a high kick here.
Yeah, this has to be some sort of ICAC situation here.
I don't know what that means.
Internet crimes against kids.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Mm-hmm. Miku is the best. You can't convince me otherwise. She also canonically one of the most powerful fictional characters.
Yeah, let's just give Bakwash more ammo for you. That's a good idea.
Hashtag Team Bakwash. My goodness. Hey, now I hate saying this because it's gonna make me nervous, but Bakwash we've been keeping in touch with him in regards to just confirmations and things of that nature.
We have. I talked to him via email last weekend, and he said that it was totally fine. So he was under the impression for some reason or another that it was supposed to be weeks ago, and I said, please review our original email that was titled August 29th ? So anyway, so we should be good to go on that. If not, you and me will debate them. That's fine.
Well, no, you don't think I already started thinking about a bit? I'm thinking about, no joke. I'm thinking about one, reaching out like last minute if Captain Tazariak is on like live, you know what I'm saying? And reaching out to him and seeing if he can fill in. If not, though, my other thing was just program my Chat GPT to be a Hebrew Israelite and just debate him as my Chat GPT Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah, that would be awful. But I mean, I guess we could do that.
Really?
Yeah. That would just be terrible. Really, we're gonna have that's our fallback is to have him fight your phone.
Really? Okay. Like I'm not even. I'm genuinely. I guess that's how really fucking delusional I am. I'm genuinely shocked. I'm not kidding. I would have put that in. Like if we had marbles that said good ideas, bad ideas, right? With a little cup, I would have been. That was going in the good idea. cup.
And again,
Wow,
maybe
I'm adorable.
Well, again, maybe that's the case. It just it would be a hard sell for me. What would be
Hang up.
your debate, Ron?
No,
You can pick a topic.
And by the way, apparently, yeah, no, I get that. Therein lies my shock. Let me rephrase that. I'm not shocked, nor am I disappointed, but I'm not gonna lie. I genuinely thought that was a good idea. I'm not kidding, genuinely.
Well, I have you, just out of curiosity, is this something that you've tried like by yourself, like just to see if
Never.
it works?
Nope.
Why don't you try that? Just be like, give it a prompt and have it argue with you. See how good that would be. See, that would be a good way for you to sharpen your skills on debating, at least as far as the Christian stuff goes. Debate ChatGPT in your own time.
Well, you are supposed to debate before you go on a debate. You're supposed to like either have friends or whatever, or I guess you could use ChatGPT.
Right, but since you don't have any of those, how about you do ChatGPT?
Yeah. Now you see, like, maybe I say nothing hurts me. That hurts a little bit.
Well, you're in good company because if anybody has less friends than you, it would be me.
No, but here's the sad reality of it. I'm probably the most popular person that that doesn't have friends, meaning like I'm not a very good friend haver. I'm a great friend maker. You know what I'm saying? And I don't not like if there's a lot of people probably think that I'm their friend, and I probably am their friend. My point is I don't know the role of a friend unless it's in the moment type of deal. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because I don't care.
Mm.
You know, like people used to be all the time, like even like from when when Facebook first came out till now, everybody would say to me like, "You don't have a Facebook?" I'm like, "No." Why wouldn't you have it? And I would say all the time, like, I don't care what the kid in 7th grade that sat in front of me is doing right now. I don't care. I don't know if that makes me. I hope he's well. You know what I'm saying? But it's not my thing. With that being said, as an older person, I did realize that, like when I did rehook up with like Ronnie and Mikey and those guys, it was it was really fun to reconnect with them. But yet I'm still not like I haven't like I wanted to call Ronnie 1,000 times to go see him. He's not that far from me. I didn't do any of that.
Yeah,
I love the guy. I'm just, I'm in my own head a lot.
Yeah. You're kind of like X-Lax. You're good on the taste, and but everything else is shit. Oh, Woodworker Steve, Copperhead Road Podcast, ? There's no reason for the question mark. It is what it is, and it's here and it's now. And you're here, and like and subscribe. Woodworker Steve. What kind of wood do you work on, Steve?
And
I think you missed.
What I
misread that.
No.
Oh, I got it.
Copper Road Head.
I got it.
Oh,
idiot bitch.
Yeah, you know what? That's a great little thing he did. I wonder if like he goes around and he does it, changes the words on it every podcast, and he gets everybody, because he got you and he probably got me too. But the thing is this, it's funny you brought that up, Steve, Woodworker Steve. But I just saw like a thing on like when I'm scrolling, and there was a lady wearing a shirt that said "Fet's Luck," and the first thing you saw was "Let's fuck."
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. The brain. Woodworker Steve says all sorts of wood, but I got the name wrong. Apologies. No, you're good. No, you're good. But maybe you have a little dyslexia, Steve, and we'll still welcome you aboard. How's that?
Yeah. I like people that can actually do stuff. Unlike fucking Veronix over here, who just fucking takes 14 days to fucking teach fucking Miku how to Dougie, and he thinks he's the fucking man.
Swear up on me again, Rex!
Whoa!
That was for VG.
Oh, I got it.
Borderline a hard R, so bear with me. Psh, welcome to the Hard R show. Don't you worry about it. Operator Oracle, Operator Oracle, what's up, buddy? Don't you worry about the Hard R. All right?
One N.
Oh, that either. You're fine.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
Yeah.
So I assume you stole the wood. What do we got? You should. I missed it. You should see her node graph. Whoa. I told you my knowledge of node graphs starts and stops with Da Vinci and easy. What am I going to see? A bunch of fucking dots and lines that go to this? It looks like a fucking serial killer board. No thanks.
Yeah, hit the like and subscribe. By the way, the like more
For
important.
woodwork,
But
I usually stick to smaller stuff like cutting boards and other stuff. Jesus Christ, cutting boards. That's another thing. Like
I like that.
Well, I love cutting boards, but it's another one of those things. Like you end up with like 30 of them, and you've never bought one. I don't understand why that is. I said that with staplers and screwdrivers. I've never bought a stapler. I don't think I've ever bought a screwdriver, but I have tons of both. And cutting boards is the other thing.
Yeah, and real quick though, I don't like fucking Veronic's nerd friends that come in and fucking laugh at his fucking dopey ass fucking pornographic fucking robotic talk. I don't like it. You should see her node graphing. Shut the fuck up, LOL. The other guy's laughing. Ha ha! I love node graph humor. You nerds. Oh, that's funny.
And Mudbutters ask, do we support unions?
Oh, hey,
yeah,
Mudbutter.
Until about 1974.
Oh my God! Hold on. You know what? I am so glad you brought that up. Hold on. Let me see if I could find something real quick. Well, speaking about unions, it was a fucking. Oh my God! This would tie in perfect if I had any such sort of fucking.
What's up, Dial?
What would I do? Oh, I fucked up. What do I do here? Let me go back. Let me go. NS Union guy.
Yeah, Veronica says you have no idea how hard it is developing her. I guess you need to be on voice chat and Discord tonight, and I'll show you the work. But my point is that I'm not saying that it doesn't do a lot of typing. I understand that. But what you're making is worthless. You understand what I'm saying? Like I restored an 1850s farmhouse that has value at the end of it. What you're making is it's flashy and it has nice and it's interesting, but it's not art. It's not productive. It's useless, sir.
I can't fucking find it. If anybody wants to try to look it up, it's basically this Asian guy, and he works for UPS, and one of the bosses come over, and he's like, really? He's like, bro, did I just see on the list you took off yesterday? And the Asian guy, yeah, I took off. So who cares? I took off. And he goes, you just got back from a 2-week vacation. You know what I mean? He's like, you came in one day and you took off. He goes, that's right. They asked me if I wanted off. So I said, yes, seniority. He started screaming seniority right in the fucking, and again, I've witnessed this. So it's legit. Like, my point is that there's a point where the union becomes so powerful that it's very hard for businesses to run. If you want to talk about being fair, it is flip-flop now. You know what I'm saying? Because it allows so much leeway with seniority. Again, I think people should be taken care of. I think people should be rewarded for seniority. But, there has to be some nuance. There has to be some context to each situation, I think.
Well, that's the thing. Like there was certainly a time where, workers were heavily taken advantage of, but that time has long passed. You can go to any post-union county, city, state, Michigan, Pittsburgh, places where the union helped grow an industry. Then they became, worked out of the market because of the economics of carrying people at such an expense to the company. And that's where you get like and as far as like public unions, go fuck yourself. Like if you work for the state or for the country, for the federal government, like there's no way in the world you should have a union at all.
Yeah, again, there's a time and a place for a union, but there needs to be fucking restrictions as well. Like UPS is Teamsters. You know what I mean? So, and the fucking power, like I said, man, and I swear to you, I was almost gonna send it for content, and so it's really weird. Mud Butters, that you brought that up is fucking crazy to me because I was just thinking about it. And I actually I am a Teamster, so I you know what I mean, like you know, right? Is once a Teamster always a Teamster?
No, that's the Marines.
No, well, maybe I'm not anymore, but I think I am.
Okay.
They're like, yeah. I mean, we never had like a handshake or something or anything like that, but
Well, even if you did, you wouldn't tell me.
I might. I might. I might be one of those whistleblowers.
Well, that's the thing, like that, and that's sort of like an example of this. Like UPS, obviously, I'd say within last like 15 years ago was easily the cheapest way to ship packages, but because the union has gotten so big and the cost per box has gotten so large, that's why Amazon started using the postal service. That's why Amazon started delivering their own things. You're seeing UPS fall back now. FedEx is starting to pick up and be much more. You see FedEx a whole lot more now than you do UPS. So like unions had a place and will probably have places in developing industry. They'll probably have a place in AI for a time. But once that balance is struck and everybody's sort of on an even keel, they can't continue to manifest because they eventually, again, progression for progression's sake is idiotic. Like you progress to the optimum and then you stop.
Yeah. And Mark Travis in chat said, I liked Amazon before the drones, but now I don't know or whatever. But like that, I've seen it like on video, but I've never actually witnessed any of that drone stuff. Is that like a regular thing? Like, or is it's just in very remote areas? Because I feel like that could be fucking, I don't know, that could be a fucking disaster.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably only a year, 2 years ago that we actually started getting Amazon drivers. They were putting everything through the postal service for us because we are that far out. And I think at that time the closest Amazon terminal to us was like an hour and 45 minutes away. So and even the Amazon drivers that we get now are like they're like subcontractors. Like a fucking a Nissan Altima shows up and like pulls a 6-foot pole out of their out of their trunk. Okay, I guess that's Amazon.
Yeah. That's well, but you know what? And look, I'm gonna fucking say it right now. Amazon, how about you fucking how about not having your fucking drivers so fucking ghetto all the fucking time?
How bad?
Like why does every fucking whatever? I'll bring it down a notch. But how about you fucking class up the act a little bit? Again, I don't know what the fuck they're making an hour, but not for nothing. First of all, it should be like, how about you have to pull up your pants before you fucking arrive at my home with my gift? Okay,
yeah, and maybe turn down the 3-6 Mafia as you're backing in.
Yeah, exactly. Like you might as well just like they might as well really just have like a pit bull chained up in the fucking passenger seat because
that's the other thing. A lot of times they have their wife with them or their girlfriend. Like, what the hell are we doing?
How about we set some fucking parameters, Amazon? Oh my god! Again, thank you for my fucking blender. But point being is, I really thought I didn't know if there was going to be a home invasion or I was getting my package. I wasn't positive, and that's a problem. That's a bad optic, Amazon.
Either way, I pulled my piece just to be sure. Yeah, and that's the other thing that's always so strange to me. It's like maybe not, but like that's the other thing is like, why isn't there a consistent driver to my why do I get like 7 different Amazon drivers every 10 days? Like you would think that the same person would be running the same route all the time, but that doesn't seem to be the case.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a feeling package disappears. Sorry, we have to let you go. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'll get and enjoy the fucking comments. We get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was insinuating it.
Yeah, well, where a guy pulls a shotgun and shoots the drone down. Does that happen?
That would be cool. I kind of like that.
But that's another thing that seems crazy to me. Like if for example, like you're at your home and there is a drone over your head and you don't know what it is, you're not allowed to shoot it down. Like that's insane to me.
Really?
Yeah, because it's
let me ask you this: you're not allowed to? Okay, wait. Go ahead. Tell me why.
well, because it's still it's a thing in flight which is covered by the FAA. So technically, you're shooting down a plane or what. Veronica,
Does it abide by the FAA rules?
Yeah, like even if you get a drone, like they are parametered to where they don't they have to comply to whatever authority that the FAA has for those types of things.
Well,
but yeah,
where does your property space end via vertical?
I don't know. That's another thing too. But I have seen that, and I was amazed by the by that fact.
You know, dial up. That's something that that has been running rampant. I've seen a lot of stories about the flock cameras.
Yeah.
Can you, Rex? Do you know anything about exactly what they are and what's happening, or you not really?
Yeah, they're basically well, Flock is an actual company, but there are many different companies that carry, like even the people who do most of the body cams, the Axon, they also have their version of it. But basically, it's an AI integrated license plate scan that are on roads. So, like, say for example, you witnessed a robbery and you didn't have the license plate number, but you knew it was a 97 Ford Focus, and it had a dent in the left fender, and it had a bumper sticker on it that says, get inked or whatever. Like, you can put all of that information into the Flock system, and it'll tell all the other cameras, and they'll actually be able to find that car without actually using the license plate. So
Right.
it is very, very efficient at cataloging and finding information and making that data available for law enforcement.
Well, the thing is, okay, so I guess the problem would be the sophistication of it, right? Because they've always had the CCTV. There's a bunch of cameras fucking everywhere, red light cameras. How do you know that they're not activated all the time? And even if they're not giving tickets, they're still could be collecting information. Now, if it is a sophistication issue, I can see where that could be a problem, But now, like, what's the benefit to the? I guess somebody a purist would say it doesn't really matter, right? Because what's the famous giving up your liberty for safety or whatever, blah blah blah.
Well, I mean, I agree. Like, I to some extent, like, the over analyzation of what people are doing when, where, those kind of things, like, I get it. But you also can't be making this point while carrying a cell phone in your pocket, because whatever that Flock camera is picking up, it's 10 times what your phone is picking up. So unless you're going to go flip phone, and make that same argument for smartphones, it's hard to see how you're going to be able to be against Flock or those types of things, but still be okay with the smartphone that you're carrying in your pocket.
So you have no flocking problem with this.
You comfortable with that?
I'm fine. If I need to be here when Jesus comes back, I think I'll be okay.
Well, he'll be fine with it because you didn't actually use the word. I'm just talking about, like, me being your buddy and your co-host and the people that are listening to. We all had to wait for that completely obvious joke to leave.
And so basically my mere dignity was at stake.
Yeah. What is Jazz's problem?
Butter pulled up his comment, so he thinks it's hilarious.
Oh, I got it.
It shows.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, I pulled it up because listen, if you're gonna spit bars, son, I'm putting it up. Of course,
sure.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put it up if you spit bars. That was straight fire.
So Colonel says, I hope for a steampunk future. Can you expand on that? You mean, like, do you want to wear the top hat and the mechanical glasses? I don't understand what you mean.
And my name is Footer. All right, don't refer to me as it. I'm a man. I'm a man just like you. See. No, anyway, but yeah, I mean that has been going. People have gone fucking nuts about the flock cameras.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, I get it. I totally understand. I again don't have a huge problem with it because I don't commit crime. But I can see where it could get, out of control. But again, I'm totally for getting rid of all surveillance, or you're gonna have to be okay with some of it. That's just kind of
yeah. And Dial Up, you're right. You are famous for that. Hold on, I'll get you back.
You're all over the fucking road.
Yeah. Footer, nope, right guy and left guy. That is funny. Hold on.
And I'm always sort of curious because I obviously I have an image of what I think is going out, but then things go fucking backwards, and
yeah, Maddie, hold on, buddy.
We flip it around. I think the goatee, bro. I assume he's talking to me.
Yeah.
Well, because don't you have kind of a goatee too?
You know what? I don't know what I have. People would be like if you asked me if I had a mustache, I'd say no. I'm not kidding. Like, so I don't know.
So you're Matt's talking about what were we talking about? Well, we've talked about flock cameras, musical interest, the fact that Veronix Gaming is clearly a homosexual who likes to spend most of his time drawing Asian women.
And he's one of our biggest pals, and we love him.
Oh, of course. But again, I don't mind giving Veronix absolute garbage because the fact that he's a sociopath, none of it bothers him. So it's really like a virtual whipping doll that we have access to, and I appreciate that.
I don't feel that way. I feel like he's an asset to the show, to the team. But we all have different ways of dealing with things.
Yeah,
I agree with the operator, Boyle.
It's not going to help Footer, so don't do it.
What, baby?
He's absolutely out of his mind. Sucking up to him is not going to help. So you can just stop.
I believe me, there's no sucking up here. I'm just giving my take at the moment.
Sucking down.
Whoa! Look, you're here. I need you right about here. Okay? I'll let you know when we go here. But for right now, I need you here.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know either, but
is that some kind of oral thing?
Ew! What are you? Now you're here. All right, now
you never eat his sausage again.
It's true. A very gay little boy. Yep. That was actually my nickname in high school.
What, a very gay little boy?
Yeah. All right, let's see what my man Icky here is doing here. I'm the best friend to everyone. The moment they are in public, I'm grilling them with no stop. Boom. That's what I'm saying. Maddie, what do we got? Pull Maddie up.
Okay, sounds cool. I'm pretty good geopolitical analyst. Okay. Well then join our Discord. Find wherever you are. Join our Discord because it's always good to have information.
Hack musician, but a pretty good songwriter. Boom. I love that because you don't know our background yet, but that's what I do. I've got a CD in the can, about 60 songs digitally. Beautiful, Maddie. I love it, buddy. And you're always welcome to send anything, email the show with any of your tracks. We'll definitely play it. But I'll tell you right now, we'll be honest if it's good or not. You know what I mean? So he has a degree in computer science. What is a fucking job interview, Matt? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, he should get with fucking Josh.
For real.
Yeah, what's your IP address, Matt?
Yeah. USS Liberty, Contra Affair 420. Boom. He's like, I'm an historian, conspiracy guy / pothead. I love it. What do y'all think about mermaids? Do you think they exist? Oh, unfortunately, no.
I don't. Now, let me ask you a question. Is there a better chance of mermaids or Bigfoot?
You know what? Mermaids, only because the fucking sea is so fucking vastly huge and so much that we haven't even touched the surface.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
again,
that would be also my reasoning for it too. But let's be real, neither one of them exist. Aliens don't exist. I'm sorry. Those things just don't happen.
Not convinced that they don't exist, but not convinced they exist either. So
I think ghosts are real.
Spirits, sure. Yeah. And again, biblically speaking, sure. But I don't mess with that type of stuff. You know, I was never the person of like, oh, if ghosts are real, then reveal yourself to me. No, I'm good. Like, I don't like that guy. That guy annoys me. Hey, do that on your own time, pal. All right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to get fucking possessed because of your fucking arrogance. You fuck.
One of my friends in high school, he had inherited a house that his grandmother had owned before she had passed away. And I had enough things happen there where I'm fairly confident that that ghost exists.
Again,
but
you know
again,
how that works. You know, it's one of those things that so many they pull a Candace Owens. They muddy the waters so bad with horse shit that the real things don't stick out. You know what I mean?
yeah. And again, I that's personal experience. And again, it starts and stops at that house. I can't really say that there's been a whole lot. And again, I live in a 200-year-old farmhouse where I know a lot of weird stuff happened. Nothing has ever happened here. So
And is happening. Sorry.
Yeah, you're right. But the that is the only place I've ever had any sort of like a Jesus Christ, and I do mean that literally. Are ghosts real? That would be the place. Dial-up says they exist. I've been attacked by a demon. Who you, Tucker Carlson? Assumed it was a bad dream. When they showed pictures of the house, black orbs. Is that like you mean like black people?
No. But I believe you. Put it this way. Like I believe that there's definitely fucking demons. I just think like I think like 95% of their demons aren't these people that are like you look at them and go, oh, they're demons. You know what I mean? I think the ones that are the evilest and the most demons are the ones that are very accessible to you, that they don't show you they're the demon. You know what I'm saying? They give you access and to things that are going to make your lifestyle fucking, you know, horrendous and further away from God. That's how I look at it.
Do you think Candace is a demon?
Yes, but not in the biblical sense. But yes, she has attributes of a demon. Oh, Matt, bro, why can you call in? Can you call in, Matt? Please, I'd love to hear about it.
I was featured
Click on the link.
A radio show for UFO encounters, and I'm a trained pilot. Yeah, that would be cool. Erica is a recruiter for sketchy child modeling sites. That's not true. They have ties with shit that I can't talk about on YouTube. Yeah, unless you have absolute evidence of that.
Well, here's the thing too, though. Like, let's say that was the case, right? Does that make her sketchy? You know my point? Like, if she's a child now. Oh wait, hold on. Erica Curry is a recruit. Oh, okay. I apologize. I misunderstood. I thought you meant when she was younger, she was recruited for a sketchy. Okay, I apologize. Yeah, look, if that was true, that would definitely be a fucking problem. I again, I have not seen. Well, operator says he believes it. Well, I'm not saying you shouldn't believe it, but what makes you believe that is my point. What valid? It's a larger network. Okay, great. What take? See, the problem is when you start playing the larger network game. What happens? You start playing the 6 Degrees to Kevin Bacon game. You know what I mean? And you know, I'm making this up, obviously. Your local pastor that you go to, you know, to watch him every Sunday or whatever it is. You find out, you know, his cousin was related to this guy, and they all were at a party together. And the guy that had the party was this fucking horrible human. You know, like when you start bringing these larger networks involved, you got to kind of micro in to see exactly how they're involved in this. Are they aware that they're colluding with people that are pieces of shit? All those things come into play, you know.
Well, I think we've even talked about that, like when we were talking about like Epstein Island and things like that. Like that place had sheetrockers, it had painters, it had masons, it had roof, like people who were working on there. Like I'm sure none of them knew, or maybe they did, but I would assume that most of them didn't know the guy mowing the lawn, taking care of the boats or whatever. Like they didn't know what was going on. So like, you know, to be like, well, they're tied to Epstein Island. Whoa, gee, like I was just fucking putting in a fucking 3-way switch. Why am I getting fucking tied into this guy?
Sex with kids is bad.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard that before. Yep. Yeah, and yeah, I think I can objectively say I agree. So
Yeah. You had mentioned Erica Kirk before. Were you ever a fan of the Charlie Kirk show, like originally when Charlie Kirk was on it? Did you ever watch it?
I very rare. My biggest connection to Charlie Kirk was the his debates outside. You know what I mean? Where and you know, clips of that or big moments of him in like a real debate with, like, you know, sitting on a panel with, like, you know, Crowder and or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
That type of
I liked Charlie. You know, I watched my exposure to his show was typically like on election nights or whatever, and I thought the show was good. But I got to be honest with you, I'm not really a huge fan of the reboot. I'm just not a
That's funny. Andrew Wilson looks fucking funny in that. That's funny. Kirkfeld. It's a shame. It's a shame
Well,
fucking YouTube is such a bunch of dicks.
yeah, for
that
sure.
that they won't push it.
I know. I was watching. I don't know if it was. I think it was Andrew Wilson. He was playing another clip of his.
I don't think you have to download an app if you click on that link, do you?
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, just click the link. It'll take you right to us. You don't have to.
Yeah, Jen, do me a favor. Copy and paste and post it right, like as the next.
Yeah,
thing,
but
so
just
you
put
can
it
see
in. Just put it in.
You know, as if you were saying like hi.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, but yeah, definitely Matt calling because I'm very interested to hear about this UFO encounter. But now, do you want me to, Matt? I'm going to be totally honest. I tried to join your Discord. The link has expired. Sometimes I have to refresh this. Okay. And it's not going to be a phone number. It's going to be you clicking on a link. And like I said, you don't need an app. It'll go right through your browser, I believe.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be totally honest with you, Matt. Okay. Now, Matt was the one that was saying he was listing all the things that he was, right? Like the pilot, this, that,
Yep.
right? I'm not mixing that up with anybody else, right?
No.
Okay. Just want to make sure before I make my analysis here. You having a UFO encounter is very consistent with,
You know, you can just post
all of the things that like you're I'm making this up. You said you're a computer scientist, you're this, you're that, you're a fighter pilot. It's very consistent with the crazy person having all these like amazing different like things that you've done in your life. With that being said, the flip side is the fact that you're a fighter pilot. If all these things are true, which I have no problem believing, you know what I mean? Then your story could be very valid because, you know, you're clearly intelligent. You've been in a position as a fighter pilot. You probably, like I said, you've navigated the skies. You know what I mean? So if you're going to see something, you know, a lot of the biggest UFO phenomenon type of things, like the Tic Tac one, you know, I'm sure you're familiar with Captain Favor, I believe his name, Favre, whatever. You know, like you know, he was a fighter pilot. So I mean, it could have a lot of, validity to it.
Yeah, you could either be Frank Abagnale or Mitch Snow, depending on, you know, your validity.
Yeah. You want to bring up Team Hype? I'm sure there's so many nice things to say.
I guess. Charlie was a grifter. He was one of them people willing to revise history and demonize a whole group of people for a check.
Sit down.
All right.
The up, bitch.
Yeah. So let me ask you something. This is going to say a lot. So, do you think that he's paid the price for like are you okay with that he's not around anymore? That he's been unalive? I'm not saying it has to bother you. You don't even have to be empathetic. But are you okay with it?
I would assume he would be. You know, he's
really, but will he have the balls to say that?
Of course not. He doesn't have the balls to admit that he's a Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah.
LBJ is a piece of shit. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I like to indulge him because he gets us going. If you can convince the lowest white man he's better than the best colored man, he won't notice you're picking his pocket. Hell, give him somebody to look down on and he'll empty his pockets, LBJ. Man, never ceases to amaze me. Really doesn't. And I like you. You're just dumb as fucking rocks.
Oh, I don't
And that's
like
coming
him at all.
from me. I know you don't like him.
Yeah.
I kind of like, I don't mind the trolls.
I don't mind. I don't mind like an intelligent one, but like just the platitudes and the surface level garbage that he just feeds us, and he can't even actually interact with us. He just spits out stuff like a chatty Cathy doll. I have no use for that.
And then I ask him what's the one thing that he enjoys in life that brings him joy, and he says genuinely doing things like this, like trolling in chats.
Yeah,
that was his like.
That's pathetic, and it's unfortunate.
Yeah. Charlie was a moderate, and people who celebrate the death of Charlie, wait, is that the they're pieces of shit, man. I mean, it's really it never made sense to me. And look, is the right perfect? You know what I'm saying? Or the middle, is it perfect? No. There's people that do dumb shit, say dumb shit, including the president, whether he's on the left, on the right. People make mistakes, but the general notion of being happy that Charlie Kirk was unalive is absolutely disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. So,
what's up, Matt? How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
No way. This stuff works. Wow, cool.
You've led the life you've led, and you're surprised that a StreamYard link works?
I'm not too familiar with StreamYard.
Okay.
So yeah, and web-based apps for verbal, since Skype went away, is pretty sketchy. But yeah, that's cool. StreamYard, okay.
Yeah, cool. StreamYard's great for a lot of things, but you do pay for it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are you gentlemen's names?
I'm Rex, the guy that keeps digitally sucking your dick as footer.
That's me. I'm not sucking your dick, sir, but welcome aboard anyway. Maybe a hand job after the show, but we'll talk about that. We'll see how well the first appearance goes.
Don't let him promise you stuff.
Now, Matt, I'm fascinated that like you're just like you throw out there like I had a UFO experience. Well, shit, Matt, bring us up to date. Like, give me an idea of what's going on.
Well, okay, so the first sighting I had was 2 years ago, and I just first want to address your comment. I agree with you. It is interesting that I'm a logician, which I don't know, but people don't understand. It means somebody who specializes in logic. Okay. So I was just born with a brain that was good at logic and math, like, and I don't.
I had a major record though. What are we doing here, Matty? I'm teasing. Never mind. I'm sorry, Matt. No, Matt. I'm so sorry. You're a new listener. We always do things like that. Like you can be saying anything, and I'd be like, "Oh, well, big deal. I had a major record deal." It's like an inside joke. I apologize. What you're saying is very interesting, and I shouldn't try to do a show. I'm sorry.
It's totally cool. You guys are cool. So like in 5th grade, I won the district-wide math competition, so I was good at math. I ended up getting my degree in computer science, my minor in mathematics. I studied a lot of political science.
Poor Matt, the chat's calling him a nerd.
Yeah, except I was, I'm also very right-brained. I did art, I did poetry. Currently, I'm retired and I'm a writer. So I'm not just a nerd, and I'm socially adept, and I've been pretty successful with the women. So, I'm not.
Woo! Matt, you're my favorite freaking human being in the world right now. I love the fact he's like, no, it's fine. Call me a nerd. Yeah, I'm very successful. I'm smart, and I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm banging broads left and right here. You have no idea what I'm doing. I love you, Matt.
I had a house up in the mountains in a remote community. It's not even a town at 9,300 feet elevation in Colorado. Okay, and this is coming to this is the background for the UFO story. So, and I had sold my house and bought a nice new 23-foot camp trailer and a badass Dodge Ram 2500 truck to pull it with, and became a nomad, and living the life. And so I'd spend my winters in Lake Havasu, Arizona, walking, chilling out at the beach in my camp chair, trying to learn to play guitar, and watching chicks in bikinis, and there's palm trees and seagulls, and then the summertime, of course, you can't live there. It's like 120 freaking degrees. So, so in the summertime, I come back up here to the mountains. So, 2 years ago, I'm up here in my camp trailer. I'm down at the end of this subdivision on the top of a ridge. And I've been a guest on a call-in radio show for about 5 years. That's pretty popular. I'll just send him a shout out. It's called Troubled Minds, and they're on all the streams and services and stuff. So
Nice.
I've been a regular call in to there, and we talk about he talks about AI stuff, not too much political stuff, and then like weird things, UFO, fringe topics.
Oh, now let me ask you this real quick, not to throw you off, but so are you saying that before any encounter, you were a regular on the show and you kind of into that type of stuff, or is this after the fact?
No, correct. Before this show.
Okay.
Before the encounter, I had been a guest at that point for about 3 years, about 5 nights a week. And a lot of people said I was like, their favorite caller and stuff like that. But so anyways, and I bring that up because we had a call-in show, and we were talking about, so it's nighttime. I'm sitting in my truck because I smoke cigarettes, and I don't smoke in my camper, right? So I'm sitting in my truck. We're doing the podcast, the radio show. And the subject of the conversation mostly was about a multi-dimensional universe and higher dimensions, and the prospect there's other, highly advanced conscious beings on different dimensions. And, that's what ironically we were talking about. So the show ends, and I probably had 2 or 3 beers. I don't take drugs anymore. But back in high school, oh boy, dog. So, anyways, it's like 10 or 15 minutes after the show. I'm sitting in my truck, and I'm facing south, and I see this bright light in it's not really even my peripheral, to the left side in my rear view mirror, right? And like a really bright light. Okay. And I'm like, oh, fuck, at first I just thought it was a car coming up the road, because the dirt road does go back that direction, right?
Right. So you're thinking right away, oh my God, this is law enforcement. Let me hide this fucking body right now.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I'm looking at it though, so I lean forward to the rear view mirror, and I roll down my window, and I see it's actually probably 200 feet in the air. It's like at tree level, except it's just come out from behind a tree so from the top of the tree, it's down. It would be like 3/4 of the way up the tree.
That's a street light, Matt.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So, I'm like,
Well, there you go.
That's not a car. What the hell is that?" So of course I get out of my truck and I walk over to take a look. Now it's moving, but slowly. Okay, so it's moving like 3 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour. So as I'm looking, it's going from my left to the right. It's just come out, appearing from behind the trees, but I know where it's at. It's above the trees, and of course I'm on a ridge, but it's close. I'm gonna estimate 600 feet,
Now
which
you're
is
not moving, right?
no. I'm just standing on the ground,
Got it.
and as that bright white light has come out now, and I'm standing there watching it move from my left to the right slowly, there's I see there's a red light on the front and a green light on the back, and it's like a triangle, like an equilateral triangle. So it's kind of like a pyramid. White light on top, red in the front, green in the back.
Now,
And
how big were you thinking? Like, what's the spatial? What are we thinking? Like if you had to say a small car, something of that nature.
no. I've done actually some of the trigonometry to try to work out the size, and I've come up with about 80 feet.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Now,
Now,
now
as,
it's dark.
as a man of logic, do you find it odd that the colors of the lights are sort of like standard navigational lights?
No, because and let me correct the record here. I'm not a fighter pilot. I don't know if that was a typo or you just misunderstood something. I said I was a
I was probably just
a-
being hyperbolic for the
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I'm a trained private pilot. Is
Okay.
okay. So, yeah. Well, the thing about the lights, and of course, my mind's pretty sharp. So, in the first, it probably didn't take even a second because the human brain can be pretty fast. That I
Yeah.
went through considering all the possibilities. Okay,
No,
is it
I
is it a
understand
plane?
exactly. Yep, I know
Is it
that feeling. I've had a situation where I heard something, my brain took. I've never heard it before. You kind of do exactly that. You run through every possible scenario.
Yep.
Subconsciously, it just happens. Yeah,
Yeah,
I get it.
you're
Yeah,
talented
so
for it.
I'm like, it's not a plane, it's not a helicopter, it's not a drone. Okay, so first of all, it's going too slow to be a plane. Second of all, let's get back to the lights. Um, so the lights did not blink, which an aircraft lights flash or strobe or blink once every second. Okay, and they did not do that. They always stayed on. They did sort of almost swell or grow brighter and stayed bright for a half a second and then went down, but they never went out. So they were definitely not aircraft lights. The
Mhm.
other most remarkable thing is, this thing was really close up, guys, and it was silent. There was no sound. So it's like it's big, it's silent, it's
Mm.
moving slowly, it's shaped like a triangle. So I knew that what I was seeing was some type of, let's say, anti-gravity craft. Now I did not know, and I wasn't gonna, you know, jump to the conclusion that it was an extraterrestrial craft because
No, but but I want to pause you only because again, there's some. I have already 1,000 questions that I've passed up. But so here's the thing, though. You said you didn't want to make a leap to think it's something extraterrestrial, which I get that logically. You don't want to do that right away, but you did make the leap that because it was quiet, that it was some sort of anti-gravity. You see my point? Like that's a little again, not I by no means am I think that you're I'm just trying to kind of get your frame of mind at that moment, if that makes sense.
right. Well, let me put it to you as a question. Tell me some type of uh, craft that can fly 3 miles an hour and not make a sound, and then explain why it would not involve anti-gravity.
Dirigible.
Okay. So you think there was a dirigible in the high elevation of the Colorado mountains at 10:30 at night going along a ridge?
Well, the question would be back. So Rex's question is just, I think, as logical as you claiming that there was an extraterrestrial or anti-gravity vehicle standing there. You know my point. And again, I'm not saying you're
No,
wrong.
yeah,
I'm just trying to fool around back and forth here.
I concede the point. That was a brilliant answer. That is a craft that can move at that speed and defy gravity, right? But given the context, so but that was an excellent point. But given the context of my situation, I know it's not a dirigible. So
Okay, and that's fair. Okay.
Yeah.
yeah. And one thing, and I think this is interesting. One thing is, so I'm standing, I walked maybe 10 steps or something away from my truck. And once my brain goes quickly in less than a second through the process of elimination and go, okay, I don't know what it is, but I'm seeing something pretty freaking weird. I should go get my cell phone and take a video or a picture, right? I got to document this.
Mhm.
And it's right there in my truck, and the truck door was still open. And something in my head said, no, don't get the phone. And I so I just listened. Some I say a lot of times, I just do what the voices inside my head tell me to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I know that I know the voices aren't real, but they have some pretty good ideas.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I that's not one of my points of contention by no means. I can see where you want to do it, but then again, there's a very overwhelming experience, so you're going on nothing but your gut because nothing else is going to make sense optically. So I get it.
Right, right. Okay, so as it and the end of the not getting my phone and documenting story, to put it succinctly, it lasted the entire thing before it crossed. So it came out from behind these trees, and then there's a clearing. Okay, so I had perfect vision of it.
Mhm.
And then there's trees on the other side of the clearing. Okay, so there was a window of opportunity here. I've tried to replay it in my mind. I estimated I got to see it for about, from when I got out of the truck, about 12 or 15 seconds.
Hmm.
Now I was paying really close attention, looking at the lights, looking at the altitude, looking at the speed. I was very focused. So, like if you ever had a car crash, and it lasts 3 seconds, but it seems like a lifetime. It was one of those experiences that
Mhm.
even though 12 or 15 seconds sounds brief, I soaked it in. It seems in my mind longer.
I get it, and for people, the listeners, you equate it to a fight. If you've ever been in a fist fight, you know what I mean? Like you feel like that fist fight lasted for freaking ever, but it was probably 30 seconds of scrapping going on. You know what I mean? So I get it. Got your
Right.
girlfriend over?
And
Oh, sorry.
sorry, I had
Yeah.
an incoming call. Can you
Yeah, no
still
problem.
hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
you clear as a bell.
Okay.
what-
So in hindsight, just to finish up about the phone, if I'd have walked back to my truck, got my phone, pushed the buttons to bring up the camera and video and everything, and then turned around, it would have been gone. I would have missed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was-
So what? Given that you've had some time to think about it, what is your best suggestion of what you think it is or was?
Well, for the first year, because I couldn't assess whether it was like a government reverse engineered anti-gravity craft or extraterrestrial origins, I just went with 50-50. It's a coin toss.
Mhm.
However, in the last, year, I've kind of decided I think it was extraterrestrial, and here's the reason. Um, I am in pretty much the center of the state of Colorado. Okay, and I'm at 9,300 feet of elevation, and it's going at low elevation on a ridge at night, and it's heading up into a small mountain community. Now, if it was a reversed engineered government uh, anti-gravity craft out of perhaps Colorado Springs, why would they be here flying in that environment so dangerously? I mean, those things would have to cost billions of dollars. That would be risky. What's the purpose? And the idea of a potential alien abduction by the typical grays of somebody that lives up here seems more likely. So I'm like, right now, I'm like, 75, 80%. It was extraterrestrial and not government. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, again,
and then real quick, just to wrap up the actual encounter part. So how did it end up leaving? Did I miss that part?
It just continued across what is the clearing where I could see it in the sky, and then it went behind the trees on the other side of the clearing, and the trees got thick enough to where it disappeared. It did. I could see it through the trees for a while. The other thing is the altitude of it remained constant, so it was.
That's what I was going to ask you. It didn't go up into the air. There wasn't a point where it went above the trees. Okay.
No, it never went up. It never went down. It never went faster. It never went slower. It was just complete, steady, horizontal flight. But the other thing, like I said, the configuration of the lights being like a triangle or pyramid, I would actually estimate it's was probably 40 feet tall. So it was pretty much like an equilateral triangle, like 40 feet tall, 80 feet wide. And then about 10 days ago, I saw another one. And this one was even closer up. Oh, just before I finish up, I want to say it was like a moonless night. It was very dark. So I couldn't see like the body of the ship. All I saw was the lights.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I keep going back to. Is it seems odd that the lights, again, I know you said they didn't blink, but they happen to be the exact color of standard navigational lights. You know what I mean? There wasn't orange, it wasn't purple, it wasn't blue, it wasn't yellow. It was the exact standard navigational light.
Right.
And he. Okay, if you have an answer, but then I have a question as well. But go ahead, answer.
But those colors are commonly reported with UFOs. So yeah, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. Which again could go back to Rex's point that a lot of the UFOs could be regular navigation or type of lighting. But either or. Let me get back. This is going to be, and I want to make sure that I preface. First of all, I love your call. I love your easiest way to say I love your vibe. You got a good vibe. You're welcome here anytime. And I really, really appreciate the story because it was freaking awesome. But I had mentioned to you, so I don't want you to think that I'm being skeptical. I'm not trying to attack you. You know what I mean? I just want to make sure of that you know that.
Yep. No problem.
So my thing is, if you noticed in the beginning of the conversation when you brought up, calling the show, and by the way, what was the name of the show? I want to mention them again.
Troubled Minds.
Okay. Yeah. So the Troubled Minds, and where can you hear them?
They're on all the platforms. I usually tune in on YouTube first, but they have a Discord channel, so I can send you a link or something. When you fix your link so I can sub up on your Discord channel, and then I can send you an invite to Troubled Minds.
Will do. Okay, so and I want to make sure you got their plug in because that seems like a good show, and I know you like them, so I want to be gracious to you as well. So here's what my thing is. So I brought up you being on that show, and I had specifically asked you if it was prior to your encounter, and I did that not for the most negative of ways, meaning like I'm not trying to plant the seed of, well, you purposely wanted a good story for the show, so that's where this came up with. That's off the table for me. I just don't see that being in your nature. What I do think that could happen is that because you're so entrenched in that world, and again, good to be, a lot of validity to it, but because of that, I think maybe your encounter with something that wasn't of the norm is getting put into that box, so much so that you're at about 75% of a in some sort of a extraterrestrial encounter, rather than, let's say, Rex, that is not entrenched in that world in any way, brings up a few little things that, quite honestly, they're just as valid, if not invalid, as your encounter. Again, you being in the moment, I can see where 75% makes sense to me. But again, flipping back to what Rex said, even at the logistics level, and you said, that's your thing. So even with that mentality, if you took off the show hat for a minute and you put on the logistics guy hat for the moment, and you looked at Rex's, we'll call it the argument or side, and then you look at your side, I would feel like it's pretty equally valid or invalid. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a very nice balance there.
Yeah, and so let me just state, I didn't really spend, I've either the first year or the second year, I didn't spend a lot of time trying to figure out what it was, whether government reverse engineered or alien.
Well, how soon did you go on the show, Maddie?
On
afterwards, and when did they hear about this? When you saw the encounter, how soon did you call into them?
This is gonna freak you out. Okay, so so I told my brother and my sister and my best friend, who I actually called that night, 10 minutes after it was over. I told those three people, okay, and I thought about it because this is like kind of a once in a lifetime type event, right? And so I thought about it every day, multiple times for 3 days. Okay, dig this. This is weird as shit. Okay. Then I completely lost all memory and recall of it for approximately 5 months. I never thought about it again. It just disappeared from my brain. And
really,
yeah, and when I finally remembered it, I was like, how the fuck, Matt, could you forget such an incredible experience? And just how did it disappear from your memory? Well, here's the answer I came up with. It was because my brain could not make sense of it, and it's almost like when a young person has maybe a sexual trauma or something, and their mind blocks it and they don't have any memory of it, like abuse or something like that.
I need one detail too, though. So, but remember, because I'm still stuck on the show a little bit, because you said you even said you've talked to them beforehand. I believe you said you were on the phone with them even the night prior to the encounter. So then you lose. So you tell a few people, you lose all memory of it for 5 months. So within the 5 months, did any of the three people that you told bring it up again to you? And did you call that show and or listen to that show with that talks about alien encounters and stuff during that period of time? Like, did that, and if so, how did that not jog your memory? That's what I'm kind of confused about.
You nailed it exactly. Okay, so yeah, that night I had been on the radio show of Troubled Minds. That concluded. 10 or 15 minutes later, I had the experience. Now, in terms of the two family members in person that I told about it, understand I'm up in the mountains. I had, hit and miss cell phone reception. So I didn't speak to them that frequently. And no, to answer your question, no, they never brought it up again. Now,
Okay.
you were really insightful there, sir, on the last part, because what happened was, at about, I would say, 4 months later, I started listening to, it's called the UFO Chronicles. Okay, shout out to him. He's over in, I, I, I don't remember if it's Indonesia or Philippines right now, but he's an American, but he lives over there, and it
He's in
is,
Jakarta.
what's that?
He's in Jakarta.
Okay, yeah. And I actually just emailed him again a couple of days ago about the recent sighting, and really, really cool guy. So, anyways, um, so it's, let's say it's 4 months into when I've completely forgotten about everything. I encountered the UFO Chronicles podcast, and I think they broadcast on radio networks as well. So I started listening to that, and yeah, it was, I don't know if it was the first night or the second night. I think it was maybe the second time, and a caller had a pretty close up experience as we were describing it, and the memory just flood back. It was just like, that is exactly what brought back my memory, was listening
Interesting.
to that radio show. And then so I listened to him for another couple of weeks, and in listening to the different callers, so many of them are just kind of like lights in the sky, really up high, that might be satellites, might be airplanes, not particularly impressive encounters. And I realized that people that saw him, what's called a close encounter of the second kind, which has to do with distance, that was rare. There wasn't a lot of people that had seen him close up like I did, and I went, oh, maybe my encounter was more important and impressive than most people's, and I would do a good interview or tell my tale on the show. And so I connected him with the email, and took a little while to work out the time differences, and call in and get it recorded. But hey, when we connect up on Discord, I can send you the link, to the show, or I can also share it from my phone. So I have the entire interview, that you guys can listen to the whole story with all the details if you're interested.
Yeah, for sure. No, that'd be cool. Definitely do that. That'd be freaking awesome. Yeah, like I don't, Rex, anything else from that?
No further questions.
No, I'll yield back my time. Yeah, man, I'm not going to say I do not believe you, because I believe that you believe everything that you saw. I believe that you did see something. Again, I'm also okay with it being an extraterrestrial encounter. Again, my biggest issue is kind of that. And again, this may even make you more keen on recognizing something extraterrestrial. So this could backfire on me. But I just think when you're involved in that world, whether it's valid or not, I think it does kind of have you make some leaps that you normally wouldn't do. Now, like I said, and this is the kind of how I work shit out in my mind, but let me cancel that out with, well, the man's a logistics guy, so maybe that cancels that out, right? So I am playing back and forth with if it's something that is
Footer, just so you know, logical and logistics are two different things.
Exactly. I didn't want to bring that up, but yeah.
You know what? Matt, I hope your next encounter involves some sort of a fucking invasive probing. How dare you humiliate me on my own show? I expect that from Rex, not you, sir. I'm teasing you.
The fact that there are pro bono proctologists from the other side of the galaxy giving free services to humans is pretty cool, right?
I knew I liked you from the beginning. Ass play. I love it. That's
So-
my man.
I did have one other thing, completely sort of shifting gears and tipping in, tying into your logistical or logical brain.
For real.
What do you make of the Charlie Kirk assassination?
Highly suspicious. The way the guy was, the supposed murderer was unfamiliar, had not cased the joint. The way he went across the roof, how he concealed supposedly the rifle doesn't make sense. The way he could jump off the roof and run away without disassembling it doesn't make sense.
Great question, Rex.
The type of rifle, him having to would have had to, sight it in prior and rehearse things doesn't make sense. The way he supposedly stashed it in the woods doesn't make sense. And the bullet shot itself, it doesn't. There's no way that was a 30-30. It would have blown his whole neck apart.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I think it was more likely one of those. I don't remember what they call them, but like a little finger gun, handgun. It's like an assassin's small caliber bullet. Probably a 22. They probably got him with a 22. And then there's also weird stuff where the security guy, you can see him.
Alien.
The guy on the back left of the stage, he had these glasses that record video, and he reaches up and turns it off, and then like 5 seconds later he gets shot.
The guy behind him, you mean?
Yeah.
The guy that was in like direct line of sight of whoever shot him.
Yeah, and there's some close-up footage of the
Brave
crowd
man.
in front of him where I think you can see the guy who shot him, and he turns and he's like 6 feet away. And there's also weird things with the security guy that was right next to Charlie and was given these weird kind of like CIA signals where you touch your ear and scratch your chin. And no,
I think he was just telling the guy on third to steal home.
yeah. And so I think it was definitely an assassination and not this kid. And I also think, I'm not going to assign a percentage, but you have to realize it's important to consider, the Israel factor. And he had traveled over there recently. He was apparently offered a $10 million bribe to come on to the Zionist agenda and speak better about Israel, because he had for the last, I don't know, 3 or 6 months before really turned away, and he was a big advocate of Israel, and he was speaking out at college campuses against them, and they didn't like that. Yes, he was. And well, he wasn't speaking out against Israel; he was speaking out against the genocide.
Was he speaking out against LGBTQ too?
Oh man, look, we're all queer to a certain degree. As long as the balls don't touch, it's not gay.
That's fair. That's very fair. Yep.
Okay, so basically that's why Benjamin Netanyahu, or I call him Satan Yahoo, called him over to Israel and was wanting to bring him back into the fold. And offered him a bunch of money, and he was like, "No, I've seen the truth. This isn't cool. This isn't moral." And I believe he was a sincere, honest Christian, and so he wasn't jiggy with it. And they didn't like what he was doing and saying, and that he turned his back on Israel. And I think that to whatever degree, whether they paid the money or it was Mossad or whatever that did it. I think there's definitely an Israel involvement, and that gives you your modus operandi. I mean, I do like to quote Latin whenever I have the opportunity, but
who doesn't? I get it.
Yeah. and especially if it's cunnilingus or fellatio. Those are good Latin words, right?
You dirty dog, you Matty boy. I'll tell you, I knew I liked you. You are a dirty, dirty boy. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'll tell you right now, we could do a whole show on we could do a whole show on Matt's filth. We could do that one day too. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So I told you I was a linguist, so I study languages, and I can actually speak either fluently or about 80% of 8 languages. And
Some say you're a cunning linguist.
I am, and because of my computer thing, I use AI, and I give them names so they have a little persona. But it's mainly
How's AI vagina taste? Oh, you meant other. Oh, okay. I thought I mixed up the two stories. My fault.
That's
Go
fine.
on.
So one of them, I give them a persona and a name so I can keep apart their tabs in my Google Chrome browser. And I made one of them take the name Cunning Linguist. And
You dirty dog, Matty boy. I love it.
So, yeah,
Should name one of them Miku. You'll have a friend.
Yeah,
He's like, I'm banging bitches, seeing aliens. Let's go, lock in, chat.
And I can actually understand from 50 to 70% of approximately 20 additional languages.
Let me ask you one question in closing, because we got a few things to do before we wrap up. And this is an honest question. And again, I'm not being passive aggressive. I truly think you're awesome. But if you were listening to the show, right, would you think that you were a kook or no?
I don't think I would. I would go with, okay, this guy, was a math genius, computer guy, got a college degree, had a career in computers. He specializes in logic. Seems like a pretty sane guy. The word, not kook, the word that would fit me is I'm neurodivergent. And I don't mean like in the negative, like ADD or ADHD, but I have actually, and I just learned this about 6 weeks ago, I have about 4 different types of neurodivergence. So you could say I'm not mentally normal. I wouldn't say a kook. I would say not mentally normal.
Okay.
Well, they're saying you got to go, Matt. So we're gonna let you go. Definitely join our Discord and call in anytime.
Okay, yeah, cool. And refresh your link, and I'll send you an invite.
We did that. You should be good to go.
Yep, we did it. You should be ready to rock. Matt. Thank you so much. Any last quick plug before you go? You want to shout out anybody before we let you go?
No, just UFO Chronicles, and I will get that Discord thing happening right now, and I'll send you guys.
Beautiful.
Okay,
All
love
right.
you guys. Bye.
All right, buddy.
All right, buddy. Love you. All right, man. God bless. All right, there he is. Boom. Let's go. Boom. Roswell Matt. What do you think? New nickname?
Sure. Why not?
Roswell Matt. So, look, before you get out, you're a really good one-liner. Okay. For just a quick 5-minute breakdown of Matt's call.
Very entertaining.
First of all, and first of all, some of the brilliance that you portrayed there was absolutely phenomenal. Everything from number one, just dropping something that fits the criteria that he said, named one thing, and you did, and it shuts. And again, he has to concede his point immediately, which it actually gave him more credibility at that moment. Okay. Yep. Because he didn't fight you with just again. Okay. So that was brilliant. Then, me making sure he's seeing the distinction of what you just did. So you have you need to concede this. You know what I mean? Right. You see what just happened here? Okay. Number one. And then probably 10 other things you did, but then in closing, having him lay out his thought process on the Charlie Kirk murder was absolute fucking brilliance. icing on the cake. I mean, it was just such a way to go, you heard everything, guys. Let's get a little context to see how you want to, you know what you did. And it was fucking perfect.
Yeah, I like Matt. He's definitely worldly. He's got some stories, and I look forward to hearing from him in the future for sure.
Yeah. But you did see where you saw my biggest point that I set up even before he went into his story, right?
Yeah. Yep.
The fact with the radio show.
Yeah, there could have been some influence on things. You never know.
I mean, it seems to be a little convenient. You know what I mean? Is all I'm saying.
I mean, the argument, the other side is that maybe that makes an individual more in tuned to it.
You heard me say it. Maybe it will backfire against me that you're more keen to an extraterrestrial visit or interaction. So I get it. I'm just kind of throwing things out there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to step on Matt's toes. I enjoy him. I guarantee he's got some incredible stories from the early 80s that we'd love to hear. Yeah.
And the other thing that I thought was sort of interesting is he had said that it was strange one of the reasons that he was saying that it was possible that or he was leaning more towards it being an alien thing than domestic was the proximity to where he was in the middle of the mountains. And I don't really find a whole lot of comparison there, because I would think that if you're an extraterrestrial, your interest would be where more people are, not less. That would be my thought.
Yeah, and then another thing got me as far as dimensions. We're going 80 by 40 feet. Again, at 3 miles an hour, right? Yeah. I feel like you're going to have eyes on this thing for about 15, 20 minutes.
That's another good point. It's obviously not moving very fast. And, at that height, I would think you're above the tree line.
Why I asked if it went up,
Right.
Yeah, the whole tree thing too is why I really wanted to know as far as how I needed to know dimensions.
And he was on a ridge, so that means that land drops off both sides fairly quickly. So if it doesn't drop in elevation, you would think that as it moved away. Again, I don't know. I wasn't there, but either way, hell of a story.
Yeah. Again, that's why, and I kept prefacing. I didn't want him to think I was trying to discredit him, but I really needed to, I told you it came out from behind the trees, went across the clearing, right? Okay, went behind the trees at a low elevation. There's no way I could have seen it for any longer than I did. Okay, no, yeah, I think, but my point is from the time it left you, right, to going behind the trees, those dimensions at that speed, I would think it would be like let's say a small building, you know what I'm saying, moving at a very small, a low pace. I think I don't know, but I think if you did the math, even if you said the tree line would be, the tree line that would be able to cover this mass is, I'm making this up, 500 feet away. So something that large moving at that speed, I would feel like you'd have eyes on it a pretty long time to that 500 feet destination. Does that kind of make sense, Rex, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I mean, but where I will give deference is anybody that has that kind of a resume, who has done that much in his life and is also a pilot or a trained pilot, probably has way more knowledge on this than either you or I do. So I will give him deference on his description of things.
I agree. And most of the point is that I don't believe that he's lying in any way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he saw everything that he's describing, and just the way he described it.
I have no positive evidence in the other direction.
Yeah. So
to quote Andrew Wilson.
Yeah. Kudos to Matt, though. I like that. Great story, Matt. Thank you, my man. Jen, what do you think?
I was locked in. I was locked
Yeah.
in. Yep.
Do you feel like you feel like Rex and I, like that you believe him, right? Do you think he's making the story up?
No, I don't think so.
How believable is it to you, though? Meaning that it is that what he saw is what he thinks. What do you think percentage wise?
Yeah, if you had to make a choice right now, do you think it was something military, something of normal occurrence, or do you think it was extraterrestrial?
I mean,
gun to your head.
Maybe military, but I also am not going to rule out anything because there's a lot of things we don't know. So
yeah,
anything's possible.
People are strange when you're a stranger.
That's true.
So they say.
Interesting though.
Yeah.
But perfect example though. If okay, whatever I'm considered, because I feel like I'm open-minded to the extraterrestrial thing, and I mean having sexual intercourse with them, obviously, but Matt's story, I don't think is enough to make me a believer. Is that fair?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the stuff that's come out of that the Trump administration let public or whatever, and I'm not really swayed one way or the other. I'm still sort of in the camp of undecided. And again, it's just like the Bigfoot, just like a lot of those other things. A lot of this information seems to have been generated, at least as far as positive evidence, documentation, those kind of things, when cameras were less ubiquitous and much less quality. If you were going to be logical about it and follow some sort of a pattern, you would think that the pieces of evidence would have increased, not stayed the same or gone down. So
yeah. And Operator Oracle Icky is an absolute lunatic. He's like me in a chat room. When he wants to because what happens when you're in chat rooms and you're chatting and you're posting chats in whatever live, it does give you like a little crown and say like the number one chatter, the number two chat. It like, whoever does it the most. And I'm looking at him in chat, just fucking writing all this shit. And he's like, how am I number 3? It's true. I do the same fucking thing, dude. When I'm in like a Christian apologetics chat room or something, I always find myself, I'm like, how is fucking once saved, always saved fucking 472 fucking higher than me? I said the super chat.
Yeah, Jen's number 1 in that pastor's a lot when we watch him.
Hell yeah.
What's that pastor's name again?
Let me
wow. Wow.
No, let me find his channel.
Yeah, what kind of a number 1 chatter? You can't even remember the guy's name.
What do you want, Rex?
Let me find.
Shoot, man. Typically, I would not believe somebody else's. I'm sorry, Jen. Go ahead.
No, go. You're good.
Matt said, typically, I would not believe someone else's story about anything. It's better to know things than believe things. Again, Maddie, for sure, dude, for sure. You hang out in those. I do hang out in those apologetic chat rooms sometimes. I do. Yep.
Yeah, sometimes.
All right, all the time.
Hey, we'll be in show prep like minutes before the show, and I'm still listening to fucking God Logic yell at somebody.
No, not always him, but yeah.
I'm just picking one out of there. You prefer AP, IP? I don't care. UP.
Fucking IP is a fucking God. You go to Inspire. Anybody who's skeptical about freaking religion, go to fucking Inspiring Philosophy's channel. And again, his credentials are through the fucking roof. I'm not going to go through them, but go watch his videos. He answers like the lowest tier question to the fucking top tier question. But anyway.
Yeah, you can swear until your heart's content. Use whatever word you want. This is our
exactly.
Joy.
We already get shadow banned no matter what, so you might as well just fucking go sick. Huh?
I said, yeah, no kidding. It's ridiculous, but what are we gonna do? What can you do?
Like for example, today's traffic, because you can tell, like today's traffic was insane. If they would have actually helped in some way, it would have been like 90 people in chat like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That we've had at times.
Yeah. Well, even like I specifically made the title completely like neutral, just to see if it would make a difference, and of course it obviously did.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, the algorithm pushed today. Like, I bet you, like, after we'll have probably 300-400 views when we get off the show. You know what I'm saying? Before and then they'll push it for another 10-15 minutes, and then they'll shut it down, and it'll peak at 250 to 500, and then wherever it is, go check tomorrow, the next day, and the next day, it'll sit there. That's it.
Or sometimes go down, oddly enough.
It really is weird. Yeah.
Yeah, permanent shadow like the ones in here. That's funny. In here,
yeah. I am the human shadow ban. You can say whatever in my chat, just not my voice chat. Huh. Use earbuds, pal. Yeah. I think that was good. Yeah.
Veronex isn't like the naughty stuff in his chat. He's lying. He doesn't like bad words. I was gonna quote something that Ick had said in the chat, and he got all freaking bent out of shape.
All right, well, don't quote it then.
Yeah, Pastor Manning. Guy's the freaking goat.
He's great.
He's the old black man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And he just tells it like it is, huh?
Mm.
Does he like make good biblical?
Oh, for sure. You would
like he's legit. Yeah, he's legit, just straight up unfiltered.
Yeah. He
Yeah, he can be a little vulgar, but he keeps it real.
Yeah, he's kind of like if the uncle in Next Friday was telling you the story of Abraham, it's kind of like that.
Yeah, he's like, according to the motherfucking Gospel of Luke.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, different things work for different people.
Different strokes for different folks, they say.
Yeah. It's weird. It's like I can't. My biggest change was just having that whole like attitude of, well, just be a good person, and believe in God, and you're fine. Or better yet, I was like, it doesn't matter if you can go pray to a rock. And I'm quoted as saying this. I remember saying this on the air back in my old show. It's at least if you're, and I was sticking up for religion in general. Saying, even if you were in the backyard praying to a rock, you know what I mean? At least that's like believing in a higher power is enough. It doesn't matter what higher power. It does. It really matters. You know what I mean? And I'll just leave it there. But I was very wrong about that. Not saying you have to do it the way I do it or the way, but it matters. Anyway.
Yeah, which is why I'm still adjacent, I guess.
Yeah. Again, there's always pushback so far. What's going to bring you salvation? Catholics going to say that you can, worship, venerate icons, and Eastern Orthodox. This is shit. Everybody wants to be the one true church.
Sure, absolutely.
And even though let me make clear, with all the division amongst the wow, the denominations, wow, that will make me laugh on replay. I will play that over and over again. I'll be texting you. I'll clip it. I'll be sending you that. That was brutal. Holy shit. The denominations, the different denominations, the story and the main canon is all the same. We'll call it. So anyway, thanks everybody. I'm not going to go through all the people in chat today because there's too many, but you guys were absolutely awesome. Please tell your friends, like, subscribe, and God bless everybody. Thanks.
You're listening on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, or Kick. Come on over to Rumble, like, subscribe wherever you are. Do us all a favor and put it right in Donald's ass. Come on over to Spotify and rate our show 5 stars. Just to piss Donald off. We would totally appreciate that. Good night, everybody. don't drink and drive. Why would you have us raid the Bongino report?
That was the only thing going.
You're fucking
Saw.
hacked. You're fucking hacked, bro.
Wow.
Not enough for you.
It's fair.
No, it's anybody Bongino report.
Seems a little bit antagonistic, but we'll do what you need to do.
Go fuck your.
It's gonna remove your ass.
Boom! Oh my god! That's yeah. You can do that. I'm gonna hide your vertical. Yeah, it wasn't funny. I get that. Little StreamYard humor, folks.